I am doing my presentation on abortions with Down syndrome by Chelsea Murray. What is Down syndrome? Down syndrome is a genetic condition where a person is born with an extra copy of chromosomes 21. This means that they have a total of 47 chromosomes instead of 46. This can affect how the brain and body develop. Prior to or at conception, a pair of the 21st chromosomes in either the sperm or the egg fails to separate. Is it reasonable to have an abortion because the fetus gets diagnosed with a genetic disorder? A woman's right to abort a fetus with Down syndrome. Every baby that is born should be wanted, and forcing a woman to carry an unwanted fetus to term is hardly the best start. 90% of women whose unborn babies are diagnosed with Down syndrome choose to have an abortion, which is legal right up until birth. Is it morally ethical to abort a child at birth? The Court of Appeal has upheld legislation which allows the abortion of babies with Down syndrome up until birth after a challenge by a woman with the condition. What are the misconceptions about people with Down syndrome? Misconceptions about people with Down syndrome lead to a proportionate number of diagnosed children being aborted. It is estimated that 60 to 90% of children diagnosed with Down syndrome are aborted in the U.S. compared to 18% of all pregnancies ending in abortion. The negative effects of Down syndrome: potentially serious complications like heart defects, blood disorders, immune system problems, stomach and digestive system problems, hormonal disorders, and skeletal problems. Other complications with Down syndrome would be intellectual disabilities, height and weight issues, vision, hearing loss, behavioral issues, sleep apnea, and fertility. What to expect when raising a child with Down syndrome? Cognitive and physical development delays that may require extra support and therapy to develop skills such as language, social, and motor skills. Extra support for parents. Due to cognitive and physical development, as well as emotional issues that may be challenging for parents and caregivers, as it may require significant time and resource to provide the necessary support for a child with Down syndrome. If a family plans to have a child, is it right to have conditions on what kind of child they are willing to have? These new NIPS tests are able to identify cell-free DNA from the placenta in the mother's blood as early as 10 weeks into her pregnancy and claim to inform women with nearly 99% sensitivity, and if the baby she is carrying might have Down syndrome, this would make it right for a woman to decide if they want to proceed with her pregnancy, even after knowing the effects that her and the child will have in the future. These new NIPS tests are able to identify cell-free DNA from the placenta and the mother's blood as early as 10 weeks into her pregnancy and claim to inform women with nearly 99% sensitivity, and if the baby she is carrying might have Down syndrome, this would make it right for a woman to decide if they want to proceed with her pregnancy, even after knowing the effects that her and the child will have in the future. Is there a treatment for Down syndrome? There is no single standard treatment for Down syndrome. Treatments are based on each person's physical and intellectual needs, strengths, and limitations. Services early in life focus on helping children with Down syndrome develop to their full potential. My beliefs. While I do believe that women should have the right to choose whether or not they can handle raising a special needs child, I also believe that the decision should be made in the first trimester before the fetus is born.